Is your parrot a trained monkey? And no offense to trained monkeys, I'm trying to use that in the sort of derogatory way because I don't know what else to call it. So I hope you know what I mean. If not, I'll talk about it. Or is your parrot a true companion? Hey guys, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond and the new book, Get to Know African Gray and Cape Parrots. This over here is my hawk-headed parrot, Landshark, who came over to join me for my videos. Landshark was a plucker when we adopted her and rescued her a year ago. Unfortunately, she was a plucker. She's probably going on 18 now, so she's a legal adult. At least she would be if she was human. But her plucking has gotten a little worse. I'm trying to take care of it. I'll be making a video on plucking soon because it's a really big topic. I know that a lot of you deal with that. But today we're going to talk about whether your parrot's a trained monkey or a real companion. So let's get started. There was an article that was shared about the fact that some people, I'm sure not you if you're watching Parrot Bliss, that some people train their parrots by using methods that really are, I'll say, disempowering. In other words, they gave a few examples of how these people train their parrots to where they do things like spritz cold water in their face as a negative reinforcement, or withhold food, or what else did they say? Do you remember? I forget, but they train the parrots so that they can do anything to the parrot and the parrot has to learn to just take it. And basically it's disempowering to the parrot because I was using the word or the phrase trained monkey to try to capture the idea that the parrot is stripped of their ability to not be in a good mood, not want to be pet, not want to be touched inappropriately, you know, have to comply, really. Like, we don't want to have to comply all the time. You want to always, sure, do your best, put your best foot forward, but that doesn't mean that you should be touched inappropriately. And the point is that that is what happens with some parrots. Can you step up? Can you step up for me? Thank you. Thank you. So, for example, a companion parrot is one that you respect the fact that sometimes they want to step up, sometimes they don't want to step up. And you respect the fact that, for example, you know, my hawkhead, who we call Landshark, she's been in a funny mood the last day or so. I don't know why, but I'm like, Now, unfortunately, because she plucks, I can, and it's unfortunate she plucks, but I can see her crop. Do you see sort of that pink bulge right there? Not there, right up there. So I can see that there's food in her crop, and because I can see her keel bone, I should have showed you her keel bone. That line right there, you see that? Can you show them again? Not right now, not right now. Because of that, I can see that she's eating fine. She just pooped for me, so I'm gonna look at that in 1 minute, but it looks fine from here. So I think things are okay, but something's got her a little moody. I don't know why. Who knows what is going on? And sometimes we're like that too. So I allow that. One of the things that I do with my parrots is I do believe in training, and I think training can be a really good way to engage with your parrot when it's done properly with love and care. I think that training can be a really good way to develop what I call a common language, which I think is really important. In other words, when you go like this, a lot of parrots just know that that's step up. And they usually will comply because generally speaking, it's a good thing. Like, they step up and they get a treat, or they step up and they go somewhere with you. Like something positive, something fun, something that they want to experience usually happens after the step up. And so So I don't think training is a wrong or bad thing. Please don't get me wrong. I think that doing things like withholding food is cruel and unusual in my book. I don't agree with that. My parrots have access to pellets all day long. And frankly, when I do training, I like to reward with love, with a click, and with praise. I don't not use treats, but I prefer not to use treats because I don't think that food should be dependent upon behavior. I believe food should just be given. I believe that a clean cage should just be given. I believe that love and care should just be given. So the praise I use and the positive reinforcement is like hyper love, hyper excitement, that click, that, you know, that kind of thing. When my macaws would fly and fly to me, I'd go woo, 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 and just really try to do it up for them so that it has its own positive reward. I don't, for that reason, I've never considered myself, and I don't really focus on training. I can't really think of a lot of tricks that I really want my parrots to do or that I think are really good or important. I love with my Amazon, my yellow-naped Amazon, I will point to my nose and come close to her and she'll beak my nose. I call it a parrot kiss. And then I give her the positive praise with the click and I go, woo! And she likes that. So the question is, and I'm sure you guys don't do it, but it's good to know and it's just good to be aware of and it's good to realize with your parrot. The question is your parrot a trained monkey? I'm sure yours isn't. Or is it a true companion? A true companion can be trained as well, but are you making sure to give your parrot a lot of love and respect and to honor the fact that your parrot, their intelligence isn't created to necessarily comply with commands or to behave the way we want them to behave. For example, at my house, there's a lot of squawking and those Amazons are loud. My macaw can be too. Do we get mad at them? No, we get annoyed a little sometimes because it gets loud. We often have conversations in a different room or outside because you can't have a conversation with a parrot screaming his head off, and sometimes that's what they do for no reason other than they're parrots. So make sure that you are looking at and identifying some parts of your parrot that just naturally are a little hard to live with. Generally speaking, smaller parrots have less of these, although biting may be one. Generally speaking, larger parrots, their personality or their mood is more apparent. Their squawks are louder and harder to ignore, and their demanding of attention is more apparent. So just notice those things. She's been moody. She doesn't really want to step up. She kind of wants to just do her own thing. And sometimes that involves me, and sometimes, can I give you pets? Sometimes she lets me give her pets, sometimes she doesn't. One of the most significant things for me that I do with my parrots is I come at them from the side, not above, because above is like a predator. I come at them from the side and I start at the beak. I start at the beak because that allows them to lean in and be pet on the cheek if they want, or do what Land Shark just did. Kind of nibbles. She very politely said, no thanks. Look, I'm hanging out with you. I wanted to be with you. This is where I want to be. No more. No touchy. That's what she says. I love that phrase, no touchy. Right? You're a good Land Shark, aren't you? You're a sweetie pie. Yes. I think that's one of the reasons I sometimes get comments and compliments from people saying that my birds all seem so sweet. How do I do it? Especially when I have over 22 species. That's one of the ways I do it, guys. I try to really make sure to respect not only their mood, their parrotness, but also their needs. That's a really big part. When a parrot is fulfilled, it has its food, it has its clean home, it's got its things to engage with, it's got its companions, it's got its flock, it's got my love and attention, and you know, I mean, it's kind of got it all. It doesn't have the freedom to fly, although domesticated parrots wouldn't know what to do. They'd get lost, they wouldn't know how to get home. Sometimes they can survive, but not usually. Then, in this case, when they have what they really need, they aren't a trained monkey. They can be perfectly happy or even blissful, just like they make me blissful. Right, Land Shark? And when I give them understanding for eating my furniture, they're even more blissful because I know that they're parrots So I understand that that is a totally normal parrot behavior that I do not reprimand for. The only thing I reprimand for is attacking other parrots, which she did once. Oh, sweetie, there's no attacking of other parrots. I believe in everyone's safety and security. Thank you for joining me in this blissful video. I am positive that if you're watching my videos, your parrot is a companion. I just want you to be aware so that if you are slipping a little and you're getting a little frustrated, you understand that you want to make sure to continue to treat your parrot with love and compassion. Now I'm getting preened. Or if you see someone who's creating a trained monkey kind of thing, they're using negative things to really strip away or disempower their parrot, maybe you could say something encouraging like, gosh, parrots, they're so intelligent, they're so wild, they really have a mind of their own. Something like that to remind them that they're really intelligent, they do have a mind of their own, and they're built to make their own decisions. If their decision is to bite and scream, something might be wrong and a correction may be needed. Or if it's during the day and they're just having fun, they may just be squawking and enjoying life. Thank you for joining me in this blissful video. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to check out our merch store. My daughter is this incredible little artist. She's in high school. She's saving money for college, and I use part of my profits to help support my flock and support the rescues that we have taken on. If you have any questions about making your blissful bond even more blissful, please be sure to post below, and I'll catch you in the next feathered video. Thanks, guys.